Soon after World War I, the role of the women throughout America had changed drastically from passive to very active throughout society. Furthermore, the role of the women had soon become much more than just looking after their children and doing housework at home. For instance, one aspect of women that had drastically changed was their fashion sense. Women's fashion had experienced dramatic changes in the early 1920s following the war. Although older women of society continued to wear conservative dresses, a shorter, less conservative dress became incredibly popular in post-war fashions. The tubular dresses of the teens had evolved into a similar silhouette that now sported shorter skirts with pleats, gathers, or slits to allow motion for dancing. Women's fashion became a more personal expression and less modest, starting with shorter hemlines. Body images also became of greater importance as to staying thin to keep up with the new appearance.
I'm glad I'm living, and I'm lucky to be.
These new fashionable women of America soon became called the flapper. The flapper, with her short skirts, short hair, noticeable makeup, and fun-loving attitude, represented a new freedom for women throughout the United States of America.
I got a woman that's crazy.
Also, women bobbed or cut their hair short to fit under popular hats of the time period. This new bobbed hairstyle was a radical move in the beginning of the time period, but standard by the end of the decade. In 1923, a Broadway show called Runnin' Wild featured a tune called the Charleston, and soon after, a phenomenon was born. The Charleston is both a style of music and a type of dance. Arm movements of the dance looked like a bird flapping its wings, so the women who danced the Charleston became known as flappers. This is where the term flapper arose from. Fashions of the time were greatly influenced by a Paris fashion designer, Gabrielle Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel had replaced the corset with a more comfortable and casual elegance to style. Her fashion themes had included simple suits and dresses, women's trousers, costume jewelry, perfume, and textiles. The role of women did not change only within fashion but within the community. In 1920, the 19th Amendment was passed. This amendment gave women the right to vote. Soon after women succeeded in traditional male jobs, they began to demand better wages and more political rights within the community. On another note, it was in the 1920s that it became more common for women to play what used to be considered men's sports. For example, women's Olympic athletics were held for the first time at the 1928 Summer Olympics. Before the 1920s, the earlier generations had debated suffrage, political discussions of feminism, and were hardly intrigued by the stuff of the popular media that the women of the 1920s were. The new women of the 1920s greatly rejected the policies of the older generations.
I love my baby loves me. We're hotty-totty.
These women wore a massive amount of makeup, showed more skin than ever before, smoked and drank in public, while also celebrating the sexual revolution.
I like her coffee. Keep out away.
The new women of the 1920s greatly impacted the United States and forever changed the way of the average American woman throughout the nation.